Welcome back to CarScope, your home for all things automotive. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic names in the world of performance vehicles, the Porsche 911. But this isn't just any 911. This is the 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera T, the lightweight, Purest-focused variant that aims to deliver the purest driving experience from the 911 lineup. It bridges the gap between raw sportiness and everyday usability. Let's get deep into every curve, every control, and every detail that makes this Porsche special. At first glance, the Carrera T doesn't scream for attention. It's not showy, but it speaks volumes to those who know what they're looking at. The 2025 model carries forward the traditional 911 shape with subtle enhancements that set the T model apart. At the front, it retains the clean, timeless oval LED headlights, but the bumper design is more aggressive than the standard Carrera. Large lower air intakes hint at the car's performance capabilities. You'll notice a black trim theme around the front grille and mirror caps, which are unique to the T variant, emphasizing a more motorsport-inspired aesthetic. The hood is sleek and low, giving the car that unmistakable Porsche face, slightly tweaked for 2025 to sharpen up the lines without breaking tradition. Moving around the side, you see the real character of the 911 Carrera T. It sits lower than the standard Carrera, thanks to the standard PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management, Sport Suspension, which drops the ride height by 10 mm. The 20-inch front and 21-inch rear wheels, painted in titanium gray, fill the arches perfectly and offer a staggered stance for optimal handling. A key distinction here is the use of lightweight glass for the rear and side windows and a thinner battery, contributing to weight savings. The 911 Carrera T decals on the doors are subtle but make a statement. This is not your average Carrera. You also get the sport design mirrors and an optional rear wheel steering setup, which sharpens cornering performance and helps with high-speed stability. As we reach the back, the 911 Carrera T remains faithful to the design language of its predecessors but with small touches that enhance performance and style. The rear deck lid features vertical slats that help with engine cooling and a subtle but functional retractable spoiler that deploys at speed. The dual sport exhaust tips, finished in high-gloss black, are standard and provide a sonorous note that's both refined and raw when needed. The LED taillight bar stretches across the back, connecting both tail lights and giving the car a modern yet timeless look. The rear bumper is clean, sculpted, and muscular, housing vents that subtly direct airflow. Stepping inside, the cabin immediately tells you this is a driver's car. The 2025 911 Carrera T strips away excess while retaining a premium feel. Standard are four-way sport seats in black with contrasting stitching, and for those who really want to shed weight, you can opt for the full bucket seats made of carbon fiber reinforced plastic. In place of the usual rear seats, the Carrera T goes with a two-seat configuration as standard A again, to save weight. However, you can spec the rear seats back in at no additional cost. There's also less sound insulation, which isn't a drawback here. It actually lets more of the engine and exhaust note into the cabin, heightening the driving experience. The steering wheel is a familiar and beautiful unit, thick-rimmed, leather-wrapped, and adorned with a drive mode selector knob that allows you to switch between normal, sport, and Sport Plus modes. The dashboard is pure Porsche, a digital meets analog approach. There's a centrally mounted tachometer, as it should be in a car like this, flanked by configurable digital displays that show navigation, vehicle data, G-forces, and more. The center console houses a 10.9-inch infotainment touchscreen running Porsche Communication Management. It supports wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and built-in navigation. Climate control is simple and effective with high-quality knobs and toggle switches. Material quality is top-tier, as you'd expect from Porsche, but with a more minimalist and sporty tone in the T. The trim pieces are darker, and the door pulls are fabric instead of the usual solid handles, another nod to Porsche's motorsport heritage. The optional Carrera T interior package introduces contrasting colors like slate gray or lizard green for stitching, seatbelts, and even embroidered logos, adding a touch of personalization. Let's talk performance because that's really what the Carrera T is all about. Under the rear deck lid sits a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged flat-six engine, the same one found in the base Carrera. But don't let the word base fool you. This motor produces 379 horsepower and 331 pounds-feet of torque. The real magic here is in how Porsche has tuned the rest of the car around the powertrain. The Carrera T comes standard with a 7-speed manual transmission. Yes, you heard that right. In 2025, Porsche still gives you a stick. And it's a brilliant one, with short, precise throws and a clutch that's perfectly weighted for spirited driving. A PDK dual-clutch automatic is optional, and while it's quicker in a straight line, most purists will agree the manual is where the soul lives. Thanks to its lighter curb weight and rear-wheel drive layout, the Carrera T sprints from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.3 seconds with the manual, and about 3.8 seconds with the PDK. Top speed is an impressive 181 miles per hour, but beyond numbers, it's the feel that matters. The rear-wheel steering, optional limited slip differential, and dynamic engine mounts provide a connection to the road that's intimate and confidence-inspiring. The steering is electric but tuned to perfection with excellent feedback and razor-sharp response. Whether you're carving mountain roads or cruising on a highway, the Carrera T makes you feel like part of the machine. The exhaust system is sports-tuned and opens up under throttle, delivering a crisp, crackling soundtrack that never gets old. The ride quality, while firm, remains livable thanks to adaptive dampers. In comfort mode, it's surprisingly refined for daily use, but switch to Sport Plus, and it transforms into a trek-capable weapon. Brake performance is also outstanding, with large ventilated discs at all four corners and strong, progressive pedal feel. In terms of practicality, the Carrera T, like all 911s, offers a front trunk A or front K with about 4.6 cubic feet of space. Not much, but enough for a couple of small bags or a weekend getaway. Fuel economy is rated around 18 miles per gallon city and 24 miles per gallon highway with the manual, and slightly better with the PDK. It's not a hybrid or EV, but for what it offers in performance, the efficiency isn't bad. Pricing for the 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera T starts at around $124,300, which slots it nicely between the base Carrera and the Carrera S with a few well-chosen options like the rear-wheel steering, bucket seats, and performance exhaust. You're easily looking at a $135,000 to $140,000 build. Yes, it's a lot of money, but in the world of sports cars, there's arguably nothing else that delivers this level of analog driving feel with modern engineering and daily usability. It's a niche car, no doubt, but it's designed for those who truly understand what driving joy means. So, what's the verdict? The 2025 911 Carrera T isn't the most powerful, the most luxurious, or the fastest 911A, and that's exactly the point. It's about balance. It's about engagement. It's about reducing everything to the essentials and leaving in just enough comfort for you to enjoy it every day. This is the kind of car that makes even a trip to the grocery store feel like a mini track day. It's raw where it needs to be, refined when it counts, and unmistakably Porsche through and through. For enthusiasts who want a lighter, pure 911 driving experience without sacrificing the build quality and usability that make the 911 such a legendary name, the Carrera T is a phenomenal choice. You don't need 600 horsepower to have fun. Sometimes, less is more, and Porsche knows exactly how to make that formula work. Thanks for watching today's deep dive into the 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera T. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth car content, and drop a comment letting us know what you think of the Carrera T. Would you spec it with the manual or PDK? Would you daily drive it or keep it for the weekends? Let's talk cars in the comments. Until next time, this is CarScope, and we'll catch you on the next ride.